What's up guys, Luigi here to discuss one of the biggest changes made to the Roblox platform in recent years, the removal of tickets. Now, just a few days ago, Roblox made a blog post about the removal of tickets, which blew me away and I think blew everyone else away. No one saw this update coming, like no one. I had no idea they were going to do this. But anyways, the first part of the blog reads, "Dear Roblox community, in the next 30 days, Roblox will discontinue tickets. This is one of the biggest changes we have ever made to our platform. While many of you will welcome this change, I know that some of you may be concerned. I want to explain our reasoning here and also share details of the process we will be going through with this migration." So everyone just freaked out after this blog post. I mean, the forums were just raging. Everyone was upset. There's been videos on this. There's been like the Roblox's most recent video, all the comments are just filled with save TIX, bring back TIX, and this is just crazy. Like, no one saw this coming. So before we go and rage and complain about this, let's actually take a look at everything this update will include. But before we get into that, what were essentially tickets? So tickets were an awarded currency to players for logging in, or getting a visit to their place, or selling clothing. Tickets could be used to buy catalog items, advertisements, and game passes. So you got 10 tickets for logging in and 1 ticket for 1 place visit. But you did get 10 tickets for 1 place visit if the place was BC only. So this currency was completely awarded to players, and players were able to spend it and get some items, which is always nice. But obviously there's some disadvantages to this currency, as like they said in the blog post, it was botted and people created alts to get as many tickets as they possibly could. So tickets have been an important part of the Roblox currency since their release in 2007, along with the currency's exchange release, known at the time as the Roblox currency exchange, in 2008. So since the announcement of these two features, Roblox has been using currency exchange and tickets daily in their economy. And I was very surprised that they decided to remove this, because they will be removing both tickets and the currency exchange system. So obviously this update contains both pros and cons. And the way I wanted to divide this up is into 4 different groups of players that will be affected, instead of covering this all as one pros and cons. So the 4 groups affected are the base player, BC user, clothing maker, and developer. So I'll be getting into all of those individually. So starting off with the base player, These are the people that have only played Roblox for a short amount of time and have not bought Builders Club or Robux at all. They're on it for free and they have fun. It's free! So this update will affect them, in my opinion, the most, because now they no longer make any money when logging in, so they can't buy anything unless they get a Builders Club. That means they literally cannot buy anything at all. So that is the worst con of this. So another con is that since they don't get any money, there's really no point to continue to play. They can't really get any cool hats, or they can't even really buy shirts or pants now. So there's really no point, so they might just quit and stop playing Roblox, which is not good. Because obviously the more base players there are, the more opportunities developers have for a bigger player base. Now, base players aren't only with cons. There are some pros to this update. So with this update, Roblox has promised a ton of free items. And there's already free items in the catalog that are actually pretty good. Now, these aren't like the 3.0 body, which was a complete piece of crap. These are like actual decent things that even I would wear. Like, they're actually pretty good, and you can check those out in the catalog and get them for free. They added some new shirts, some new pants, some new hats, and 2 new bodies, which is awesome. And they also added now gifts that you can get by completing certain tasks, which is always fun and always great. So, and then to contrast the other con I brought up, by quitting Roblox, other base players might be encouraged to buy Builders Club since they want to get those cool hats or cool shirts or cool pants or cool gear, any of that. So they're like, well, since I can't get any money by playing as a free player, I'm going to buy this membership so I can get some money and get the stuff I want. So those are the pros and cons of a base player. Now the next group of people that are affected is the Builders Club user. So these are people that have bought Builders Club in the past or currently own Builders Club. So obviously they got some Robux in their pocket. So this group is not really affected that much, like barely affected by this update in my opinion. And so the pros of this update to them is, well, they still make Robux and can buy catalog items. There's not really like any, that's really it for them. And the cons is they don't have any tickets now to buy simpler items like shirts or pants. Because I know as a Builders Club user, I did not want to spend my Robux on something as small as shirts or pants. I always use tickets to buy those kind of items because tickets I always earned logging in, so I never spent my Robux. So that's really it for that group. There's not really much to say because they're the least affected by this update. Now, the third group that is affected is the clothing maker, and these people are affected majorly by this update, like majorly. So the pro to this update of removing tickets is that now the price for it has finally been lowered, except this probably comes a little bit too late since the price floor should have been lowered quite a while ago, but at least they finally decided to lower it because 10 Robux for a shirt or pant is a little steep. So they finally lowered the price floor, which should allow some profit for clothing makers. Because if you study economics, you'll realize that there's a supply and demand curve is where you get max efficiency. And this is where the amount supplied and the amount demanded equal each other and everyone is happy with the economic situation. And having that price floor sort of threw that off and they didn't really make any profit, in my opinion. Because especially since for me, when they announced the price floor, I didn't buy any clothes for a long time because I already had some clothes and I was like, I'm not buying clothes for 10 Robux. That's too much. Why would I ever buy clothes? But finally they lowered it, which is in reason. 5 Robux isn't too bad. But the major con is that people can no longer purchase clothes and tickets, which discourages a lot of people from buying any clothes at all. And with the free update of more items, like Roblox released some new free shirts and pants and stuff, clothing makers are not able to make as much as they would have been able to make keeping tickets intact, because that's the only system I ever really bought shirts in. And now since there's free shirts, why would you pay 5 Robux as a base player when instead you could get them for free? Now, the last group of people that are affected by this update is the developers. And one of the biggest pros to this update is a user-created catalog, which is rumored to be DevX members only, so this is why I put it under the developer category, since only developers would be able to create these hats and whatever else they can create. So that is a big pro for them, as they could probably make some money off of making some, let's say, hats or gear or whatever they want to make, which is awesome. But developers will no longer receive tickets for player visits, and ads can only be bought in Robux now. I know on the blog they talked about that only a small amount of DevX money comes from tickets, but it's still a little bit of money that they could have had. Because if you look at it, most popular games nowadays have received well over 1 million visits, and 1 million TIX contributes to about 120 DevX dollars, not including tax. So that's $120 developers could have had in their pockets, but since the removal of tickets, they can't really have them anymore, which is a huge bummer. And now since there's base players that can't make any money, they can't buy any game passes, so they're losing profit with that. So in the next upcoming months, this update is going to be a huge disappointment. Base players will no longer have anything to spend. Developers will lose their ticket profits. Clothing makers will see a decreased profit. And Builders Club members will no longer have any tickets at all. So you think this update sounds all bad now? Well, yes and no. While I personally do not like this update and would rather think that they should keep TIX since it's an essential part of the Roblox currency, we also have to look on the right side of this update. Now, this update is going to contain a lot of free items for the newer players, which is totally awesome. And this is not like crap sponsor gear. This is actually looking like semi-legit good stuff that I would even wear, like I said earlier. it actually looks pretty good. And with the new addition of the gifts that you can get, I would think they'd add more gifts and more achievements to award players who play the game, which is totally awesome and which they should have done for a lot longer than this. And the Roblox blog was right. Developers mostly have their own currencies in their game, and it's sort of pointless to have a dual currency system. It would be better to have one unified system of Robux instead of having Robux and tickets. Also, the blog was also right in saying that tickets encourage alt creation. I mean, I created a lot of alts too to get extra tickets, I'm not going to lie about that, and I think it would be best if tickets were like removed for this aspect, because people botted for them, people created alts, and it was really not looking that good. In the end, this update will come as a disappointment to most Roblox users, and I would agree with them. I wish this update would not happen, but there's no way Roblox is taking this update back, so we might as well embrace the good that this update brings. I know it's a disappointment to see tickets go, and I'm bummed out too, but there's no point in complaining or crying about it, as this update will definitely happen. So just look on the bright side of things. We'll get some more free stuff, and probably some more achievements and badges, which Roblox is needed. And let's not forget the user created catalog that comes with this. That is an awesome feature, and we can finally have some quality hats, because I know a lot of people are complaining about the lack of quality new Roblox hats contain, and this is a way to fix that, as developers can freely express their creativity in making new hats, which is going to be awesome. So yes, this update is bad for the most part, but no, it's not all bad. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button for some more awesome Roblox content, make sure to sound off in the comments about what you think about this update, and I'll be taking a look at all those comments. So leave your comment below, leave a like, and hit that subscribe button. I'll be seeing you guys later. This is dhluigi421 signing out.